1982. The world is torn by the Cold War. It's a time of paranoia, mistrust, as two opposing ideologies battle for control. President Ronald Reagan views it as an historic fight for freedom over oppression, liberty over tyranny, and calls on the world's democracies to answer the challenge.
We must be staunch in our conviction that freedom is not the sole prerogative of a lucky few, but the inalienable and universal right of all human beings. Democracy is not a fragile flower. Still, it needs cultivating. If the rest of this century is to witness the gradual growth of freedom and democratic ideals, we must take actions to assist the campaign for democracy.
It was literally Reagan's speech to the British Parliament that launched us. Reagan called for a campaign to assist democracy. And he said his objective was to foster the infrastructure of democracy. And that's what we do. We help those who are seeking a voice in their own future, give them the tools to have that voice. Our job is to advance democracy and human liberty in ways big and small, wherever we can, and to help realize the Reagan vision.
The mission of IRI is to help people determine how to make a better life for themselves and how to insist that their governments do right by them.
For more than 30 years, the International Republican Institute has worked to foster liberty throughout the world, helping young emerging democracies take root and sharing knowledge to help existing democracies grow stronger.
We work with leaders from civil society, from government, from political parties to try to find out what the needs are, what are the tools we might be able to share, what experiences can we offer, how can we help them meet their own challenges.
Headquartered in Washington, D.C., IRI manages democracy-building programs in over 100 countries around the globe, helping them develop and use the tools of democracy, including public opinion polling, candidate training, party building, policy development, good governance, and open and transparent elections.
The people who work here come from a wide range of cultures and countries. Some of them come here because they appreciate looking at their own experience, how precious democracy is, how fragile democracy is, and so they want to come here and help take on that mission.
When I found IRI, I really couldn't believe that I could work at a place that worked to promote democratic ideals and goals. I was born in Peru and always wanted to somehow give back to my country and help it prosper. And this was the perfect fit, the perfect way for me to do it.
Originally from war-torn Serbia, Đorđe Todorović has worked in 29 countries for IRI, helping grow democracy in some of the world's most dangerous areas.
We help brave people improve their society. We help them get stronger, we help them get better, so that their society and the people of their society have a representation that is fair, honest, that is not corrupt.
IRI has been a powerful and enduring force for freedom on every continent of the globe.
We've been involved in some of the great moments of history. After the wall came down, we stood up and we helped parties in Europe to become more issue-oriented, based upon ideas and the marketplace of ideas. And the same thing is true in other parts of the world.
IRI is working to bring women, youth, and other marginalized citizens into the political process, to give them a voice, with innovative programs like IRI's youth-focused Generation Democracy.
And Generation Democracy is built on the simple notion that young people have a choice. They can either be inside the tent or outside the tent of democracy.
Training and preparing the youth to become better leaders in their nations, in their countries right now is crucial for the future of these countries.
IRI's Women's Democracy Network is helping break down barriers in countries where women are traditionally excluded from power, to help them claim their rightful place in politics and governing.
It's very important, if you're going to have a full and robust democracy, to have the equal participation of women at all levels.
The Women's Democracy Network has women in the network who have previously been in positions where their own freedom was limited, and yet they've broken out of that. Now they can help other women.
By helping build inclusive, responsive democracies, IRI is part of the solution to poverty and the world's increasingly urgent refugee crisis.
There's a link between poverty and a lack of democracy. The poor will remain poor if they don't have more of a say in their government.
Governments that are stable, that have strong democratic foundations, are governments that can respond to their citizens, that can actually resolve some of the citizen issues so that citizens are happy, and happy citizens don't leave their homes.
To help meet the deadly new challenges of repression and totalitarianism, IRI is working to make freedom a universal right.
We work with very brave people who are daily risking their lives, standing up to the most violent extreme groups that exist in this world.
We've had success, but we're needed more than ever. The challenges are great, the opportunities are great. There's a lot to do.
IRI is proving democracy is not a fragile flower, but a strong antidote to terrorism and oppression, and the hope of freedom-loving people everywhere.
It's so important for people to control their own destiny, and the way they do that is by having the freedom to be involved in deciding what happens to them through their government.
For the sake of peace and justice, let us move toward a world in which all people are at last free to determine their own destiny.